Charles, you can go ahead and kick it off.
Sorry for being quick on the draw there. Hi, Laura. Good morning. Just curious, I know so often throughout these pressers we talk about how important having training is, right? I'm curious, just with some of the younger players, obviously with Ainsley and Jordan signing on recently, how valuable it is to have training with them, just the younger player-wise, and especially in a tournament here where those younger players will get more minutes than I guess typically they would.
Yeah, it's been good. I think it's been nice to be here, nearly for 2 weeks now back after the break, to really just train on us, allow people actually to have time to be able to do some individual work as well, which is great. So yeah, I think that getting on the field, giving them opportunities, getting them up to speed on everything, because we're trying to give them as much information as possible without overloading them. So yeah, just being back on the field as a collective's been good and fun.
Thanks, Charles. Susie?
Hi, Laura. I wanted to ask, you're facing an unfamiliar opponent for the first time in a while, and just what do you know about the threats that Tijuana will present, and just what does playing against an unfamiliar opponent allow the team to focus on or do?
Yeah, I think because of our mentality towards these tournaments, where we really try to utilise our roster, we try and make sure our processes are very similar to what we would do in the regular season. So we actually have footage from the Portland game, we have footage from games that they played in their league, so we try and use that to provide the players with the best preparation possible to play against their opponent. We know that they've got some threats. Martha Cox, who plays for them as sort of like an 8-10, is very technically gifted, can shoot from anywhere, has great delivery on set pieces. One of their forwards, which I'm not going to attempt to say a name, is fast, direct, tries to get in behind you. So they have got some threats. They actually caused Portland some problems last week, even though the scoreline doesn't really reflect that. And yeah, I think what we try to do always is give our players the best possible chance to succeed, whilst knowing what we want to do as a team and what we think the opponent will do. So we try our best to provide them with that.
Thanks, Susie. Charles?
I'm just curious, with the next few days coming up, you've got this obviously on Sunday, but then on Wednesday you've got Portland down in Portland. Is it any easier considering the travel is a little bit less, or is it still tough because it's game action within those few days?
Yeah, it's stupid.
And I guess, you've talked about how if this tournament, I guess, was better scheduled, better set, this would be more vital for you guys, considering how you guys use it comparative to the Challenge Cup, like you've talked about.
Someone's really happy out here.
Oh.
Who is it?
It's Shay.
It's Shay Holmes going nuts outside the tent. Sorry, say that again. All I could hear was Shay.
Oh, yeah. How valuable, I guess, would this tournament be to you if it was, I guess, better scheduled, more ideal for you? Because you talked about it coming right off, I believe, the CBA.
Yeah. Well, I'll say this. I think it's no coincidence to me that there's been a lot of injuries. And, obviously we've been hit by that and we're devastated for Ryan. I believe that I was a big fan of the Challenge Cup, and I was a big fan of it because it enabled us to really hone in on giving our roster chance to play. So what we as a club decided was that we would allow the Summer Cup to be that opportunity. Unfortunately, because we play Sunday and then we play Wednesday, we can't fulfill that duty because it's unrealistic to think that players who haven't played regular minutes leading to this point can be expected to play 90 minutes on a Sunday, travel to Portland on Tuesday, and play 90 minutes again on Wednesday. We would be putting them at risk. There may be one or two who can do that if we feel that they're loading and their data and all those things that we spend a lot of time working on align. But that's my frustration, is we as a club, I as a coach, wanted to use the Summer Cup as an opportunity to help develop the players we have in our roster who don't always get time to play. The scheduling's impacted our ability to be able to do that. That's the unfortunate part.
Yeah, that makes absolute sense. And then just, I imagine with that, we'll see heavily rotated side on Portland then as comparative to Sunday? Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah, I think our team will look different on Sunday than it did last week. Our team will look different on Wednesday than it does on Sunday.
All right,
Thank you, Laura.
We'll take one more from Susie.
I was just going to ask Laura, the team made a trade with Kansas City and Alana, sending Alana there, and just if you could share any more details about the move and why the team made that decision for Alana.
Yeah, I think it's been a tough year for Lani. And I think we all sort of got to a point as a collective, her included, where, maybe a new environment was the right thing for her. So, just from a personal, professional perspective, I think we thought that we would look at what that could look like for her. And then from a team perspective, that this is out of my job remit, but then you have to look at what's right for the team. So, and what's right for the club moving forward. So yeah, outside of what I know in regards to the conversations I had with Alana, that's what I can say. Outside of the other part of it, that's not really my job to talk on. I don't really know how the, trade and what was traded ended up being what it was.
Thanks, Susie. And then we do have a question from Jacob here. He said, with these Summer Cup games going straight to penalties, if there's a draw after 90, does that factor into your sub decisions, or is it mostly based on how the game is played and trying to win it within the 90?
I mean, yeah, I want to win the game in 90. No one wants to go to a penalty shootout, to be honest. But are we prepared for the penalty shootout? Yes. We had this a couple of years ago in the Challenge Cup, and we were prepared then, and we did a good job. We took it all the way to whatever it was, 11 or 12 kicks. So yeah, I always want to try and win the game in 90 for sure.
All right, thank you. So Laura, thanks everyone.
Thanks, guys.